and then you can start harvesting it, and then you just keep on harvesting it. So here we've got, this is 25 acres. So you start somewhere, and by the time you've got to the end of the plantation, it's time to start again. So we harvest through the year.
And after you cut that branch, you bring this, you collect them all, and bring this to the fabric?
No, we put them in the back of the trailer. So if you come here this morning at 6 o'clock this morning, the trailer was full of cinnamon branches.
And
So then we take them to the cinnamon hut, and that's where we go next.
Yeah.
You let the leaves fall on the ground, let them dry.
So the leaves you not use it? You just
Oh no, we do. No.
composting.
We let the leaves here, leave them for about a week, 10 days, so they go. The moisture evaporates. So if you just smell this, you'll get an idea of what leaf oil smells like.
Нет,
Scrunch it up.
он нам приносил в отеле коричневое масло, это мы так похоже. Зай, перестань, пожалуйста, драть листья, я тебя умоляю.
Can you smell that?
Yeah.
So that's the leaf oil that you can smell.
Yeah.
So good smell.
So we come back when the leaves are dry and they're sort of crisp and brown, and we collect them, take them to the oil shed, and then make oil from them. So two quite separate things. You peel the bark and you collect the leaves. And then finally you come back, and what we want to do is we want nice straight trunks like this. If they're sort of bendy, they're much more difficult to peel. So what we do is it's called lopping and binding. You lop off all these little bits going to the side, and then you get some binding material and bind the new shoots around a central trunk, an anchor trunk, so that they grow like a broomstick. So you can see here, those are nice ones. Those are nice ones. These two are not very good at all, and you can't control it. You just have to, take what the plant gives you. And that's it. It is a good smell, isn't it? Well, that's real cinnamon. So do you remember I said, let me introduce you, this is Samantha, and Samantha is our head peeler, and he's also a master peeler, which is a big deal. So he's very, very good at what he does. And this is his wife, Mrs. Barty, and you often get a family unit working together. In fact, their son Pritimal, you find him here peeling as well. So these are all cut this morning. These have been peeled already. So what you do, remember the trunks that we saw in the cinnamon tree? You get a ketta, which is there's a ketta over there.
Yeah.
This is a ketta. One of these, very heavy, very sharp, and you cut at the bottom, one chop like that. A clean cut, because if you do it horizontal, so it's flat, rainwater can get in and rot the wood. Anyway, so if you look in here, you see first of all you've got the outer bark. It's like a sort of skin. It's a protective layer. And then that first inner rim, see that brown rim? That's called a cambium. And that's where, in a tree, all the water and food goes up the tree, up the branch to feed the outer branches. And that's what we peel, just that first inner layer. The middle bit is just wood, it's not dead, but it's inert. So Mrs. Barty here, she gets one of these, which is called a saltu, and it's just like peeling a carrot. See? It's easy. I can do it. And so what you're doing is you're just peeling off this, which is just, it's nothing. It doesn't smell of anything. In fact, we keep it and we make, we put it on in the garden, use it in the garden as mulch, at the bottom of our trees. So when you scrape like that, you will scrape off the outer bit, but if you dig too deep, you're digging into the cambium, the precious inner bark. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you're, I mean, what Mrs. Bart is doing is, it's not difficult, but you've got to get it right, because if you scrape too deep, you've got no cambium. And it's just like peeling a carrot. So she prepares the wood, and then Samantha, I can tell just by looking, that these have been peeled, this one has not been peeled. You see the difference in colour? So what he's going to do, if you get back, just get right back there. First of all, he's going to put it through this roller. There we are. These are just solid bits of brass. The hold is quite heavy. Yeah, do. So what he's doing is rolling it, and the brass, there's springs up and down, and the brass roller rubs the wood and softens it. And if you look carefully, you see a sort of sweat. You see that shiny bit? That's the moisture coming to the surface, which makes it more easy to peel. Can I take that back? So he's preparing the wood, and then he'll get this little knife, with a coquetta,
I did for one.
to peel. Very light, like a butter knife. It's not sharp at all. That's what he'll make. You'll see. So he's saying, "Corrido coquetta." Yeah. He's saying, "Where's my knife?" Now just watch him. So you see how he's putting the blade of the knife underneath the bark. He makes it look very easy. Actually, it's quite difficult. And what's so clever is that he's not cutting the wood. He's not making, the blade isn't coming through. When I do it, the blade comes through and I cut it into horrible bits. But he does it very expertly. There you go. And that is fresh cinnamon.
I want to take one. Can I take one?
Yeah. I'll tell you what children do is they don't just smell it, they chew it like gum. Right. Take it off. If you don't like it, spit it out.
I will go try it.
Good for you. Want to try it? Want to try it?
Yep.
Do spit it out if you don't like it. Can you taste the cinnamon? It's strong, isn't it?
Wow, it is strong.
And you're just eating a piece of wood. How silly is that?
I'm eating a piece of
Well, no, because Samantha is going to make a quill out of this. I'll ask him to make one in a minute.
I also want one. I also want one.
So while I've been talking, he's been carrying on working. And you see how when you have a nice straight piece of wood, you get a nice quill like that. We call these quillings. And when you have a bendy bit of wood or a knotty bit, you get these scrapping things. These are called featherings. So with all these bits of wood, that's all been peeled already this morning. So you'll get lots of quillings and lots of featherings. And then at the end of the day, when you finish peeling all wood, you sit down and you make your quills. But I'm going to ask Samantha to make a quill now so that you can see. So the first thing we need to do is just dry these a bit. These are too soft. You see drying outside?
Yeah.
Come along here. You'll see.
I see.
And here. you look at the difference.
Yeah.
See, this has just been peeled, and now that, the smell's gone, but it won't smell nearly as much. And you see how,
It's like coconut smell now.
well, it's because the oil has gone back into the wood. See how it's dry?
Yeah.
This is still sort of shiny there. See how it's a different colour, slightly different colour.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, it's begun to curl shut. So if you look at these ones, you can tell. These ones were put here just in the last few minutes, whereas these ones have been here for maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, you're right. So you don't want to dry them too much, because then they go hard like a biscuit, and you can't make it quilt. So quite soon, I think Mrs. Barty. These ones are ready. Quite soon, I think Mrs. Barty will. Yeah, you're right. Mrs. Barty will collect those, take them inside, and put some of the new ones down here to dry. So you dry them for about 20 minutes. Depends on the heat. Okay, so these are called quillings, right? Come back in. So you see, Samantha's nearly finished this one. Actually, that's a very nice quilt, that one. That's a very nice, long, there we are. The salon quilt. So every peeler has one of these. And he's got to make one exactly this length. So if he gets a quilling, tidies up one end, and you see how he takes the featherings and he just threads them in. It's like making a sandwich. And he's got to, just like with a sandwich, like a baguette, he's got to do it so that it's not too thick. If it's too thick, you can't close it. You can't eat into it. But if it's too thin, it won't have any backbone to it. So it won't stand up like a stick. So he's doing it to get the same thickness all the way down. And it sort of looks like a cigar. I don't know if you've ever seen a cigar, but it's the same effect. Now it's probably not long enough, so I think it's going to make an extension. Remember, we want it exactly that length.
And why that length?
It's just the market standard.
Okay.
You know, everyone uses
Okay.
the same way. And it means you could, you know, when you make a veil, you can carry it quite easily. So then he gets another quilling, and he just threads it in and carries on. And then at some stage he'll get his measuring stick and measure exactly the right length to cut it, and that'll be the beginning of a cinnamon quilt. So when we collect the leaves, we don't just take an armful, we make a bundle. These are all bundles. So what you do, you get, and this is that, these are oil mats. You get 2 strips of rope, and you lay them along the ground, like that. And then you put your cinnamon branches, leaf branches, all pointing the same direction, and then you roll it up into a bundle. So you get a very solid.
He rolled it.
Yeah, using his body weight to press the leaves and make a neat bundle.
This is the process of fermentation.
No, this is just to collect them, to transport them, to
just
stack them here, to
What
measure
is
them.
it? It is.
What we do, I'll try to explain this easily. You know when you boil a kettle, you put water in the kettle, and you turn the kettle on, and the heat of the kettle boils the water. Yeah? And steam comes out of the spout. Yeah? So if you keep the kettle boiling, steam keeps on coming out of the spout. This is like a kettle. So we put water in there, and we have a fire underneath it, and the fire heats the water like in a kettle, and steam comes out of the top. So if you see that pipe at the top, that steam comes out of the kettle, along through that pipe, along to here, all into this. And this is called a still. So this is packed with leaves, packed very tightly with leaves. So you take the lid off. This is a removable lid called a goose lid. You take the lid off and you get a bundle of leaves here, and you untie it and unroll it like a carpet. And then one guy will get an armful of leaves and pass it to the guy up here, who will then pack the leaves very tightly inside the still.
What is inside of these?
That's a water cooling tank. I'll show you in a minute.
Goes here.
The leaves go inside.
But why did you put these?
I'll explain. It's a bit confusing. I'll explain. Just wait a minute. So if you remember how big a bundle is, there's a bundle there. We have got to get 7 bundles inside here. And you'd have thought that's impossible. There's not enough room. But there are 2 tricks. The first is that you wait until the steam has begun to come in, and then the steam then softens the leaves, moistens them, and you can press them. But even then, you quickly get to here, and there's another 2 bundles to go. So you climb up, and you hold on to those knots of rope like that, and you use your body weight. You jump up and down. Sergei would be very good at this.
Yeah.
We want someone with a lot of weight.
Is it not hot?
It is hot. I've done it many times. It's hot. The steam's coming up, so you're beginning to cook like a lobster.
Yeah.
Also, the steam is beginning to vaporize the oil, so you're getting the oil on your skin, and everybody's shouting at you. Because if you let the vapor go into the atmosphere, you're losing your oil. So the final few minutes, you might have 3 people up there, all jumping up and down. And then when you've got your leaves in, you put the lid on like that, and you secure it. It looks very basic, but it really works. Very tight. But even so, it's not quite steam-proof. So what you do is you make this. It's a clay, a very fast-drying clay. You make it from ash from the fire and mud from that termite hill. Mix it together with a bit of water, and then if you see a bit of steam coming out here, you just get this and smear it round, and it seals it, so it's completely waterproof. So the steam goes all the way out, vaporizes the oil. Who wants to see the cooling tank?
Скорее пойти.
Идите посмотрите, что это гигантский самогонный аппарат.
No, this is water. This is just rainwater which comes off the roof. But inside that, you see the pipe that comes along here, and you can't really see very clearly at this point. The pipe joins a circle, and it goes round and round and round, and as it goes round, it goes down. So when the steam, the vapor, comes in up here, you can tell it's warming up already. In 2 hours' time, this will be very hot up here. But as the vapor goes down to where your feet are, it cools and it turns back into a liquid. Do you understand?
No.
No. Start again. So, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
So vapor it's like a gas, and in the vapor is steam, which is water, and oil vapor, which has come from the leaves. So this vapor, this gas, is inside this pipe here, and this is cool water. So when it comes here, it's still very hot. But as the vapor inside the pipe goes down, it goes to cooler water. And when the temperature of vapor drops below a certain level, it turns back into a liquid. Just like steam from your kettle, when it goes on the window, it turns to a liquid on the window. You remember that?
Yeah.
Same thing. So the liquid here comes out of it goes down and down and down into the cooler water, and then you see the pipe down there.
Yeah.
On the other side, then you'll see better. Can you see, children?
Это масло, смешанное с водой.
Children, come up here. One thing that children do in Sri Lanka in this windy time is they make kites. We have the liquid comes out of this pipe. You use a bit of technology, nice soft, in case there's a leaf caught in the oil. So this liquid is what has come out of the still. Now the trick here is that cinnamon oil is a tiny bit more heavy than water. If you look here, you see how there's water on top and oil below. Like a salad dressing with olive oil and vinegar. And if I give this a good shake, it will go all bubbly and mixed up. If I let it sit, the oil will sink and the water will rise. And that's what's going on here inside this separating tank. The liquid goes in, and very slowly the oil sinks and the water rises. And the liquid goes up the top, and then it presses on this spout like a teapot. So this goes into the next one, same thing, and then the next one, same thing. And the whole exercise takes about 7 or 8 hours. And over time, the oil will sink, the water will rise, and by the end, about 10% of the first one is oil sitting at the bottom, about 5% of the second one, and just a fraction of the third one. And then you pour the water out from the top, and you use this ladle to remove any little bubbles of water that are still floating on the oil, and then you've got your oil.